I put you in a neck brace before. I have no problem doing it again.
You haven't seen it, honey. I was... Oh, bitch! No, the fuck so much balls. There's too much balls on that red. Too many red balls. Look at all these balls. Look at this. Damn! Oh, Jesus! We are witnessing child abuse on TV, Lord. Oh, have mercy. Now, watch your mouth when you talking to me, ho. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. You ain't getting nothing. You don't get nothing. You either earn it or you don't. You pasty bitch. That ain't how this works. Uh-oh. Hit it with the zigzag. Let's go, baby. Let's go, dog. Let's go. I'm fucked with it. We sick of your shit. Hey, girl, hey. Life, relationships, pop culture.
Well, go ahead. I'm listening. And he'll be looking at me. He will be looking at me and he will go to sleep. He will go to sleep. Look at me in my face. I'm talking to you.
We talk about it all, baby. So, y'all ready? I know y'all ready. Because it's showtime. And that's on the ancestors, baby. Looks like it's going to be a 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania Backlash. The tag titles will not be defended there. What do you want, a microphone? Oh, he getting his belts. Okay. I'm about to say, what you finna talk about, Kevin? What's happening? Going on? Mobile, Alabama. Now, we need to have a conversation after I recap Monday Night Raw. There was not a lot that happened on Raw, but there was some key points that, of course, I need to discuss or make sure everybody knows about, especially if you haven't seen this show. So to keep it all the way funky, the kickoff of the show was Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Obviously, they're going to continue on with Rey Mysterio and Dominic for whatever reason. That is totally up to them. They're probably going to have Bad Bunny team with Rey and then have Dominic team with Damian, and they probably will battle it out at WrestleMania Backlash, to which they may pin Rey and beat him and win, right? Cool, whatever. At this point, I just don't care. I'm not trying to be cruel or be disrespectful to Rey Mysterio, but I've had enough of that storyline. And while Dominic's doing great as a heel, I'm not going to shit on Dominic too much because I give Dominic hell. Okay? Dominic's doing great as a heel. I won't deny what he has been able to do. And I'm happy for him that he's able to be so successful in this particular realm of because it's hard, especially when you're a second generation and wrestler and your dad is one of the greatest luchadors of all time. That could be a very difficult thing for you to be able to navigate the world like that and then be able to get in and really double down on your heel work and character. So I'm not going to shit on Dominic today. Outside of kayfabe, I'm very proud of him for being able to do that. And I can't say the same for a lot of the other people that's in the E that I'm going to talk about tonight, but I will say this in Dominic's defense. Dominic is extremely good at being the crying heel type of character. He's good at being real slimy and arrogant and disrespectful. Like, he has really honed his character, which shout out to him, because if he hadn't, I'd be on his ass. But I can't be. I have to call a spade a spade. And the reality is that Dominic is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. It is not Dominic that I have an issue with. The issue that I have with this story is that it's going on just far too long for me. Okay. Now, with all that being said, there is something that I have to address. It is the first comment of the day. Okay. The comments of the day. When did I start? I went live 5 minutes and 46 seconds ago. So, Aaliyah was in here before the live even started. That much I do know. So shout out to Zay. Zay was the first commenter of the day. So shout out to you. Appreciate you. And of course, James was number 2. I always call James because I can't never get their name right. And I don't want to mess somebody's name up. I might get it one day and then fuck it up the next day. So I'm like, the name I recognize is the one I'm gonna call. Yes. Anyways, Brandy was the third top commenter of the day. Shout out to all of y'all for being my ace coon booms, my numero unos. Okay, y'all come in early, y'all comment, y'all are engaging with me, which I appreciate and I welcome and accept. And of course, I have my originals, my oldies but goldies. Donnie's always in here. Kayla's always in here. Aaliyah was in here early. Okay, so shout out to all of them, including my girl Kenny Ken. She usually comes in around this time. So shout out to Kenny too, and everybody else from Nicole, Alexis, Tirza, the whole gang, and Rico. Appreciate all of y'all for coming in and being a part of the live. And for those who I didn't mention, please charge it to my head and not my heart. Okay, I can see the names as they come in, and I have to scroll down to see the rest. So I'm not omitting you on purpose. I'm just mentioning what I have seen and what I know to be true in terms of how each person comes in here. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to the show. Okay. Like I said, the show opened up with Dom, and I did just give Dominic his props because he has been working as a heel for quite some time, and he's been able to do it successfully, which I appreciate. Okay. He said, clock that T so Dom can get over. But he's already over. He's already over. He's already over. Same, it's tired. I'm just over it, you know. Hello, young boy Jay. My day was great. Thank you for asking. Hello, Icy Brazy. Hello, Kayla. Hello. Nicole's here. Hello, Nicole. Nicole said, ain't none of y'all watch Raw. Did too. I didn't because I can't. Raw was good. Raw was very much what we were used to for the past couple of months, which means they've probably taken Vince out of the equation and given control back to Triple H, which we love and appreciate because, baby, if they didn't do that, the IWC would have been in shambles today. Hello, AJ C3. Hello. That is absolutely true. I will give you that. But get him over in terms of wins. Dominic got more wins than his daddy do right now. Dominic got every match that Dominic has had leading up to WrestleMania, he has won. He hasn't lost a match. He's won every single match. I give you maybe 2. But he has won every single match he has been in. Cheat or not, he has won it. So he don't need to get over in terms of wins. That man can't even talk when he comes out there. They boo his ass out the rafters. If that ain't over, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. He's already over. Like, let it go over, because the real test is to see how he will operate against somebody else. Okay? But I will say, I will give him his respect. Okay? I will give him that. Hello. I definitely didn't. Ooh. Oh, wow. I tell you what Dom can do. Ray was never really to do consistently is talk. I agree. No arguments from me here. Depending on what he's trying to get over, you know. This Monday Night Raw was better than last week's. Well, anything be better than last week's if we being real. But he ain't beat Ray, so he ain't won this feud. I mean, fair. You know, it don't really matter to me, but fair. All right. But he said, I agree. Working with his dad is cheap and it's tired. At this point, it's the longevity of the feud that's getting on my nerves. So now that we're getting past that, we had a couple of matches on the card. I can't remember all the matches. So some of y'all might have to help me. I know for a fact that Gable and Otis had a match against the Usos. Actually, a very solid match between the two teams. It was well booked. It was done expertly. Ultimately, the Usos was able to pick up the win. Chad Gable had their asses, though, by a millisecond. And I wish they would have won that match because it just would have just solidified the Usos breakdown. You know what I'm saying? They got to start moving this shit along somewhere because now they're booking them even stronger than they were before. And the way I see it, once you lose the titles, your ass need to start losing or you need to start getting your ass whooped. One of the two. You can't be stronger now you done lost the championships. Now, I get it. Not having the titles done pissed you off, right? But at some point, you got to start, you know what I'm saying? You got to start having something. They got to start doing something. Very much something. Okay? Word to the city girls. Okay? But anyways, listen. We also got to see the girls had 2 matches tonight. Now let's talk about Becca and Lita, Trish, and Raquel and Liv. Okay? Now we all knew that Trish was getting ready to turn on them. Okay? It was only a matter of time. All right. But what I didn't know was that they was going to attack Lil Miss Lita. Now, Lita the one who got attacked. And it seemed like Trish attacked her because she was dressed like she was, Trish was dressed like she was out there in them streets, honey. Lita was laid out in the bank. And, fucking, what's their face? What the fuck is the the tag team Raquel and Liv is the ones who found her. Okay, so when Trish came over there and Becky came over there, Becky blamed Raquel and Liv because she felt like y'all standing here out of the blue, all of a sudden something happens to Lita. Y'all been here this whole time. She like, of course you attacked her. And they was just like, we did not attack her. We found her this way. We were walking up and she was laid out on the floor. We didn't attack. So their match was up next. Becky was set to go defend the titles on her own. She ended up going out there with Trish to defend the titles. Now, it was set up expertly. And if you just wasn't paying attention, you definitely could have been like, okay, so Trish may not have been the one to attack Lita. It was giving a lot of maybes, I don't know, by the way the match was flowing, right? Now, towards the end, there was a little bit of a hiccups in there. There was some miscommunication in the match, but I want to say that was intentional. That was not because of Trish, being older or not wrestling as often and not being in the ring as much as Becky, because Becky and Raquel's chemistry was off in the match, more so than Trish being in the match and it being off for her. So I just want to make that clear. Okay. Hold tight. Let me get some y'all comments in here. Okay. It was Trish and Becky going against Liv and Raquel. Okay, because Dolph be losing his ass off. I mean, I'm just saying. Liv and Raquel. Hey, Tirza. Okay, so to get back to it, the girls was in there fighting, okay? And they was trying their hardest to fight off Liv and Raquel, but they just could not fight them off as much as possible. And eventually, the error was on Trish Stratus' part, which I think also was intentional, okay? Because Trish was hitting her with that kick, Liv ducked and was able to roll her up and get the win. All right? Now, Trish was over there in the corner, expertly acting like she was very sorry. It was a lot of going back and forth of her apologizing in the ring, which I feel like she should have just held her head down, said she was sorry at first, Becky give her a hug and be like, girl, it's okay. We could probably re-challenge for the titles. Don't worry about it. And as she walks away and kind of goes to the ropes, that's when Trish should have attacked her. But it took a little bit of time to get to that part. They was in the ring talking back and forth, and it was a lot of head shakings. Girl, yes, don't worry about it. It's cool. It's good. We good. We good. And then that's when the attack from Trish came. Now, Trish said something to her, and I didn't get to catch what she said. But she said something to her. And I was like, what did she say? And I rewinded it back like 2 or 3 times, and I couldn't catch what she said. But she said something to her. Okay? I'm not quite sure what she said, but she said something to her. Now, sis slapped the girl across the face, pretty much left out the ring and left her there. Now, Byron tried to get a little word from Trish, but Trish and that rat nest hair she had was not speaking to anybody. Okay? They were not having a conversation about nothing with nobody. They didn't want to hear it. And she got her ass up out of there. I don't know what bird was nesting in that hair she had, but it was very much tangled and matted up in there. And she said, I got to go. I got to get this hair together first. And then I come back in here and explain myself when I feel like it. Okay? But she got her ass up out of there. She acted like Byron wasn't even there. She acted like he wasn't even standing there. Now, Lita ended up being at a medical hospital, a medical facility, a local medical facility, according to Becky. And she didn't even get the chance to actually defend her championship, okay? So now Liv and Raquel are the tag team champions, okay? I mean, I kind of figured that was going to happen, but it is what it is, all right? Now, the second women's match was Io, Mia, and Piper. They were competing for the number 1 contendership for Bianca Belair's championship. And I imagine this is so she can have a challenge her at WrestleMania Backlash. Okay. Now, this match 8. These girls was in there fighting. Okay. They was throwing it down to the ground. Okay. It was very, 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 very good. Io won, which rightfully so. But let me tell you how Io got in the match. You see, Bailey was in the damn office with Adam, and she was trying to get Adam to, make sure that the girls get another opportunity at the tag team titles so they can have their championships back. And she managed to secure herself a spot in the number 1 contenders match, but the girls was not happy for that. Okay, they was upset. Io was standing there and was like, girl, Nah, shit, you done had multiple opportunities at that belt. You lost. And Dakota was right. Dakota said it should have been one of us. Like, you definitely should have went back in there and should have been in there talking about us getting a shot, not yourself. So she was like, okay, relax. I'll go in there and talk to Adam, see if I can make it so one of you get the shot instead of me, okay? She calmed out because Io went straight Japanese on her and was like, nah, bitch. Like, nah, we not cool. Go in there and fix that shit. For real. Before I show you why I'm the genius of the sky. She was not playing with you all. Bailey's outfit was cute. It really was. It was very cute. Now, they gave Seth Rollins a whole video package today, but Seth was not on TV, okay? Now, he got to be upset because of last week. They're going to have to do a lot of greasing for that baby to come back on TV, okay? A lot of groveling and begging and promises, as little fucked up mouth Keely would say, child, you're going to have to do a lot of groveling and a lot of begging, pleading, and you got to show a little tenderness. You're going to have to do something because that man ain't coming back on TV. Anyway, now what else happened after that? We had them matches. We were supposed to get a match between Riddle and Miz today, but they pulled this match. I don't know why, but they did. Okay. Now, we also got a promo from Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody came out there, and basically Cody just made it very clear that he didn't really get the reasoning behind him pretending to want to, tag with him and be on his side, and then all of that just for him to attack him and take him out. Now, he said he heard on Friday Night SmackDown that the real reason he was mad was because of his position on WrestleMania. And Cody said, you know what? I can kind of vibe with that. For a long time, you was the guy. Now you regale to getting early matches. And he like, I can understand that, but at the same time, like that shit didn't have nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, so you took all that out on me. All right, bet. But he like, when it came down to it, the reality is he feel like he don't know Cody. He was like, you don't really know me. You don't know really where I stand or who I am. And he was just like, the reality is, I ain't even trying to hold you, baby. I ain't even trying. He said, Paul Heyman, he said the second reason was that Paul Heyman said that this time, if Cody wants a shot at the title, he has to earn it. And Cody said, earn it is what I've been all about my entire career. And he laid it out on the line again, from the dashing to the Stardust to leaving to building up another company to leaving that company and coming back, starting over, doing everything he can. He said, earn it. I am it. And I said, talk your shit, Cody. you better talk your shit. Cody said, earn it is what I've been doing my whole career. And I'm going to keep on doing it. But he said, first, I got another obstacle I got to get rid of. And he said that obstacle is Brock fucking Lesnar. And I want Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania Backlash. He issued that challenge, and I'm sure the challenge will be accepted next week on Monday Night Raw by Lego Head. Bam! To get hit in the back. There it is. Sorry, Jared over there playing 2K, and it's funny. Anyways, she said, was Seth one of the many that had travel issues? I don't know. I did not know they had travel issues on Raw today. I did not know that. Seth and Becky normally travel together, so I don't think that they had travel issues unless Becky had like a meet and greet that Seth didn't. Hold on, y'all. Let me just adjust the seat a little bit. Unless Corey said at the top of the show. See, I have a hard time. I keep the show volume down because when I do commentary, the phone picks up on everything and it'll flag me on Instagram if I keep it up loud. So I did not hear it. But he said a lot of the superstars weren't there due to travel issues. I'm gonna say okay, but I feel like in Seth's case, that's not true. I feel like that's not true at all. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. The way that Seth Rollins was treated last week, I could imagine him telling them that he's not coming in at all and that they're gonna have to figure it out because he's angry, which I don't fucking blame him if that was the case. But anyways, she said that may explain Miz and Riddle, why Miz and Riddle didn't happen. Very true.
Yeah, because Sami Zayn and Riddle were together, and they were at the airport stuck together, but they got there at the last minute. When you saw them come running down, they had just got there.
Yeah, I know that, but I thought that was a part of the bit. I didn't know they were actually stuck at the airport.
No, I think it was an actual thing. Because it wasn't only them, it was some others too. But they didn't mention Seth. I don't know if it happened to Seth.
I don't think it did because him and Becky traveled together. Okay. So I don't think that he was stuck at the airport too. I don't think that's true for Seth either. He was like, fuck that noise, period. Because I just can't imagine the way he was treated last week. And then for him, something about that don't even feel right. But I think I'm missing a match. Am I missing a match? It was Alpha Academy and the Usos, Kevin and Solo, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay a lot of attention to because I had seen it so many times. I just wasn't interested in watching it, and I hate to say it that way. Oh, my back. But I just wasn't interested. I'm just not interested. And I'm sure they're gonna end up making this a 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania Backlash, which I'm fine with that. Just do it and get it over with so we can move on to bigger and better things. I expected after Mania for things to shift and change, and I feel like it hasn't really done that yet. But it hasn't been that long. It's been 9 days. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. I'm just very, very impatient, and I know that I have to be a little bit more patient when it comes to the stories because we're just in the second chapter of the story. Child, I feel like we're still in the addendum. The fuck. Anyways, y'all. Ray versus Finn. Oh, okay. So there was a match with Ray and Finn at the beginning of the show, but like I said when I mentioned it earlier, I just didn't care enough about Finn Balor, Ray, or Dominic in this whole situation going on. I did give Dominic his props as a heel and say that Dominic has evolved as a heel tremendously well, and I can respect that. The work he's put in as a heel, it works. It's been working in his favor. He is extremely over, and shout out to him for that. More than likely at fucking Backlash, he's gonna get over. If he does, oh, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? Jared just threw Dana Brooke into a damn spotlight. In the back, he's in this fight. Oh my god. Dry damn near killed her.
She kept her hands to herself.
What is wrong with you?
Don't touch my body.
Oh my god. Y'all didn't see that shit. The way that bitch fell. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Not even in real life. Like when Big Show put John Cena through that light, he didn't even fall that far. This hoe fell from off of a scaffold off the top of it into the damn spotlight, and Jared just sitting there. He just threw a whole human being into the spotlight. Oh. Kitty said good because she made my rise not work. She deserved it. Because when she did it, hers glitched. Child. Oh my god, that really made my heart jump because all I seen was her fall. I happened to look over and she just falls into this light. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Anyways, so that was pretty much Raw. We had Kevin going up against Solo. Then at the end, Solo was able to beat him because, of course, the Usos interfered, which, what else is new? And then that's when Sammy and Riddle were able to show up because my mama kind of came up here and clarified a few things for me. Sammy and Riddle were able to show up and they were able to even the score a bit. And that's where we got that imagery of the 6 men. And that's what I think we're going to get, a 6-man tag team. She didn't mind her fucking business. Facts. Anyway. She like a helicopter mom and it's weird.
Oh my god.
Okay. So that was Monday Night Raw. I will say it was better. It was a better show than last week. It was definitely along the vein of what we've come to expect from Monday Night Raw. And I hope they continue it along this vein, because if we get another show like last week, next week, I'm a spit fire. Like I can't fucking do it. I'm not gonna be able to watch Monday Night Raw if it's gonna be shitty like that. Now, what we did get is a little preview of what's to come in the next couple of days. NXT is having a fatal four-way to decide Carmelo Hayes' next opponent, his next challenger at NXT Battleground. And I probably have a big old guess as to who else is going to be in this match. More than likely, it's going to be Braun Breaker, because there's no way that Braun Breaker can assault Carmelo Hayes the way that he did last Tuesday and then just walk away easy, like, I don't want to have anything to do with this anymore. That doesn't sound like that's the way that this is going to go. It sounds to me like Braun Breaker is going to end up being in this match, but this match is probably going to be the main event. And then Braun Breaker is going to win, and he's going to end up challenging Carmelo. And we're going to get a part 2 to that first match that we got at Stand and Deliver, which I'm going to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of. But maybe this second go round, because there's a little bit more fire and a little bit more spunk, we'll have a little bit more fun with that match. With all that being said, Cora fuck ass Jade is supposed to come back and explain why she attacked Indy last week. I don't really care, if we're being honest. She's going to say what she always says, more than likely the same spew she spewed when she attacked Roxanne. And I just don't give enough of a shit to really focus on it. I'll admit she looks great. She went and got herself, a nice little set of boobs, which I'm happy for her, proud of her. She looked great. But Cora coming back as the vintage mean girl bullshit doesn't really strike my fancy. I don't really give a damn about it. So that's what you like, y'all can have that. I'm gonna put my TV on mute when she come on, and y'all can tell me what she said, okay? Because I'm just not gonna listen to it. And thirdly, what they have announced for the girls for NXT, we get a lot of girls on NXT. One thing about NXT is they're gonna book their women, okay? They're gonna showcase their women, okay? They're gonna put their girls out there, all right? Their girls are gonna be shown. Their girls are gonna be seen, honey. Seen. Okay, the new tag team champions, the witches of the WWE, with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, are going to give the former tag team champions of Fallon and fuck ass Kiana a rematch. Okay, now I highly doubt that Fallon and Kiana can come together long enough to regain these tag team titles from these two bitches. Okay, it's just not happening. So this obviously is to solidify the end of Fallon and fuck ass Kiana's tag team, whatever the fuck they got going on, and of course to pull Brooks even further away from the team of Briggs and Jensen, and of course pull him even further away from Fallon, because fuck ass Kiana got a plan. Operation Boyfriend is working to her favor, honey. Okay? So fuck ass Kiana gonna keep on going. And of course, this coming Friday, we got a couple of matches set up and a re-debut. Okay, we got Xavier Woods scheduled to go up against LA Knight this coming Friday. And of course, our resident king, Shinsuke Nakamura, is supposed to return in epic fashion. Now, I'm very curious as to what Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be doing. But of course, we love us some Shinsuke, so I can't wait to see how they're going to incorporate Shin back into the stable. Okay, I can't wait to see. It's like they took whatever they had left over from Mandy and said, here, use this Cora. He said, nah, nobody's creative enough to be mean. I mean, if the mean girl aesthetic is what you like, cool. But there's a lot of mean girls on the roster. Tiffany Stratton is a mean girl. Okay. Kiana can be deemed a mean girl, but she just wears it with a businesswoman suit. And now you have fucking Cora running around like a 19-year-old, like a 12-year-old mean girl, actually. And to me, it's just a bullshit ass aesthetic. It's weird and I don't like it. But live your best life. Now, I saw this on my Google Trends when I had pulled up Becky Lynch's name, and I was looking for the picture of their match card from WWE, and this came up. A tweet off of Twitter that said, Becky Lynch is better off being tag team champs on her own and being Becky two belts again. This would be the best possible scenario for the worst titles in WWE history. Now Trish gets to step into the defended tag titles instead of trash bag Lita. Now, on Twitter, on Instagram, actually, I said the women's tag team titles are the only titles that gets disrespected like that. And even so, to take it a step further, those titles are in the women's division, and it seems like any title in the women's division that isn't booked properly or given the proper respect, it ends up having this negative kind of sense attached to it, irregardless of how hard people work to try to make it better. There have been instances where the women's tag team titles were relevant and were booked properly. Case in point, when Sasha and Bailey had it during the pandemic era. To me, that was a proper booking for the tag team titles. It made them coveted. People wanted it. We wanted to see tag teams take them down. That is proper booking, and that is also elevating the titles when necessary. Two of the greatest women in WWE had those championships and worked towards elevating them. And then you had Asuka and Kyrie, who were trying to do the same thing around the same time as that era, as well as who else did I mention? It was Sasha, Bailey, Kyrie, Asuka, and there was another team. Let me see. I'll go to pull it up because I can't remember what I said. Don't you judge me. I'm old, okay? I forget things. I'm a forgetful person. Okay? I can forget. I'm allowed. Damage Control. It was Damage Control because Damage Control had those titles for quite some time. And they did their best to elevate the titles as well. And for a long time, when they first had the titles, they were heavily coveted and a lot of people were going after them. After Damage Control got the titles from Raquel and Aaliyah, it was, didn't they drop them and get them back? I don't know. But it was Asuka and Bliss that went after the titles again. We had a whole situation with them. They were booking it to tell the story, which is fair. And when it comes to those tag team titles, they were being used, they were being coveted, and those two were using those titles to push them forward. Here's what I said in response to this. My problem with this is nobody says anything when the United States Championship is booked the way that it has been booked since Theory had it. Now, I got a response from Brando, the actor, on Instagram at the time, and he basically was just like, Theory's had marquee matches since then with other people in terms of like Edge, Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and even John Cena. To his credit, he's absolutely correct. Where we don't mesh in terms of what he's saying is that the tag team titles were attempted to be elevated by the people who were holding them. Austin Theory is not even close in that case. Y'all can argue with me in the comments all you want to, which I'll get to the comments in a second. My point here is saying when the men's title is diminished and it is booked in a ridiculous way for whoever has it, nobody calls for that title to be taken out of the roster. The only title that has been happened to is a 24/7 championship, which it was a gimmick title to begin with. When the Intercontinental Championship was not on television for months, when Miz had the championship, it had to beg to be booked. Did anybody call for that championship to be thrown in the trash? Did anybody call the Intercontinental Championship garbage or one of the worst titles in WWE history? No. No, they did not. They demanded that it was booked better. They didn't shit on the damn championship as if the championship was the problem. That's my point. Theory doesn't make the title better. He never has. There has not been one opportunity for Austin Theory that he has actually capitalized on and actually won and looked like the champion that he is claiming he is. Okay? Tell me one time in the comments where Austin Theory has defended his championship against the very same people that you have mentioned, all these heavy hitters, and he actually was the draw in that match, and he was the favorite to win in that match, and he won it clean. Like, won it clean. Like, give me one instance where Austin Theory was the draw. He won it clean. That was my point. Somebody understands where I'm coming from. Now you see what I mean. The title is not being used in the same way when it comes to everybody else. Austin Theory is not elevating the championship. The championship is being used to push him over, which, in my opinion, it isn't working. He had a match with John Cena, true enough. The match with John Cena was decent. It wasn't a banger of a match. Then you bring up Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory in the triple threat. I remember that triple threat. A lot of that match was Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins doing what they do. Do I think Austin Theory is a great wrestler? Yes, I do. I give Austin Theory all the props in the world. Where we fail when it comes to Austin Theory is his ability to capture the audience and be somebody who's captivating, and his ability to cut promos that work for his character arc. He has yet to be able to accomplish either one of them. And he's had bookings with some of the greatest superstars WWE has to offer, and he has yet to be able to fulfill that in any capacity. In my humble opinion, unless Austin Theory gets a valet or some type of manager sometime soon, then the prediction of what John Cena said a long time ago is very much going to come true. In T-minus 2 days, nobody's going to remember Austin Theory or care. When he finally drops that title, you're not going to give a shit either. Now, just because you like quality wrestling and everything is about the matches for you does not mean the overall consensus of that character is working. Okay? Let's keep it real and keep it funky. I have never denied that Austin Theory was a good wrestler. Never denied that. But character-wise, he is lacking. Promo-wise, he is lacking. There's nothing about Theory that is appealing other than his wrestling ability. Can he be a great professional wrestler? Sure. Sure. But there are hundreds, if not thousands, of those types of guys all across the indies. If that's what they were looking for, they could have pulled anybody. But they're not looking for just professional wrestlers. We're looking for superstars. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on in the back. I don't know if Austin Theory's holding back. I don't know if Austin isn't trying to, if he's trying to work within his means, if he's being told to be pigeonholed into this type of character. I don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you this, even though he's become more aggressive and he's a little bit more turned up when it comes to his character, he's still acting like a child when he comes out there. He's still out there giving us minimal promo skills, minimal character work, doing the bare minimum, edge into the edge, and just slowly tipping forward. And that's all you're going to get from him. That's it. To go back to what I was talking about, though, when it comes to the championship, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair when it comes to the women's titles, where everybody asks for that championship to be thrown in the garbage because of its booking not being correctly. Instead of saying these titles should be booked better than this, you say throw these titles in the trash. These are the worst titles in the world. When you see that this title is not being booked correctly, in my opinion, whether you agree with me or not, when you see this championship is not being booked correctly, when the Intercontinental Championship was not booked correctly, you do not require for it to be thrown in the garbage. You demand better booking. It's always like this, and I don't understand it. Is anybody confused on what I'm saying? Are we clear? Don said, but to be fair, first championship reigns often flop, but he should have cashed in on Braun because it's like he don't really know how to be champ. Isn't this his second run at U.S. Championship? Because he dropped to Seth Rollins, did he not? I could have sworn this is his second championship run. This is his second or third, though. You're supposed to learn every single time. I'm just saying, calling a spade a spade. I want the same smoke for the US title that y'all give to the women's tag team titles. And I'm like, the conversation is not being had because everybody's always talking about, well, the way that it came across to me was the women's tag team championships was never treated with prestige and respect, whereas the US title was. I'm like, so when it is not being treated with respect, when the booking for it is shitty, when the champion is not worth talking about, or when the champion is boring, do you require the championship to be thrown in the garbage because it's got the worst booking for it right now? No. You're like, they deserve better than this because they're champion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's his second, but let's be fucking for real. Though this Ray and this in the last merge, no, I'm not giving him that because he could. If this is that's the case, then he should have been able to do better, and he's not. He lost to Bobby for the first time, then Lashley lost to Seth, but he got it back in a triple threat the second time. Okay. I'm just saying. We don't ever give it the same smoke. And that's where I have a big issue. That's where the problem comes in. He said, I'm not making excuses to be clear because he's not doing a good job. I get where you're coming from. I'm not shading you, and I'm not even trying to go off on no tangent because I know you like theory, but I understand that there's a line where you have to start doing something. And I'm not saying that theory's terrible. I'm not saying that, but right now we're looking at a shitty booking for this US championship. And yet everybody's praising it like it's the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, okay. You're telling me that because at one point in time, the US title was the number one dominant belt on the show, that it somehow has still retained that prestige, still retained that shine. How? No one has challenged Theory for his title. The only person that challenged him was, well, the only person he begged for a challenge was John Cena. He begged John Cena for a championship match at WrestleMania, which fine. The match in itself was okay. It was not no solid banger. And oftentimes in Theory's matches, the people he's wrestling are the ones who are giving you their all. Now, I will say, Austin Theory has risen to the occasion in matches against certain people, but my biggest issue with Theory's reign is that it is mediocre and lackluster at best, but because he's gone up against some of the greats, that somehow has marginalized his championship reign into being great. You can't say because he's had good matches that he's a decent champion. That's not necessarily true. Or because of the caliber of the opponent that he's gone up against, that he somehow is a great champion. That's not true either. Because even though Roman is a heel and he works as a heel, moves as a heel, and his match quality gives you heel every day, all day, there have been matches that Roman Reigns has won clean with no help. Or he has been so vicious in a match against somebody that they have been disqualified. Well, he's been disqualified, which was the match he had with Seth. So I'm just keeping it real. He said, but oftentimes these first set reigns don't be good because he has not had experience being a champ, and the main roster shouldn't have been the first. But I also feel like because of the rankings are fucked, it fucks up a lot. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. I do think that his booking has a lot to do with it. I do think that if you're going to make him, like, because to be fair, right, Gunther is the Intercontinental Champion. Gunther has elevated that Intercontinental Championship. No matter who he's going up against, whether it be Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, all heavy hitters, the belt was not elevated because they went up against his opponents. The belt was elevated because of how Gunther worked. because of how Gunther moved. And in some of those matches, Gunther cheated. Gunther has used other people to elevate himself, true enough, which as a heel I expect. But when it came down to the nitty gritty and the facts, the pure facts, Gunther was in there fighting with the worst of them. And there was nothing you could say about it. He beat everybody who came up against him, fair and square, straight, no chaser. I don't think that's fair, Don. I don't know. I'm gonna have to say no, because even though Theory's time as champion has been limited, Gunther's a stronger competitor, true enough. But if Theory say he is what he say, then you shouldn't have no problem being champion. You shouldn't have no problem doing that. I should not have to be having this conversation about you. What does that have to do with Austin Theory, though? I'm not. That though, no, I'm not. I can't give him a free pass because there have been other people who hadn't been champion on the roster in any way, shape, or form, and they've risen to the occasion. Bianca being one of them.
Thank you. I was getting tired of typing. It was too much. Ugh. Oh no, what's going on? There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Oh, here.
Gotta set myself up for success.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Fucking hell. Back.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that he has not had the experience. Whereas he is new. This man is 24. Let's start there. The man is 24. If he been on NXT, being a champion, getting that championship experience, then I can see where, okay, well, you do a lackluster ass job on the main roster. The man wasn't even doing a well enough job on his own before the championship. So having the championship, it wasn't going to do much for him. Like, I'm trying to find a good example. Because there's plenty of people who's had a championship and it wasn't given because they haven't, like, let's say Finn, when he had the US belt, not because he didn't have the experience, it wasn't given because it didn't match up with him. He had nothing to give for the belt. Whereas you have, let's like take Bobby for example, when he came back and got the belt, he had championship experience. The US belt was being booked on the TV. And we didn't have I wouldn't say we didn't have a problem because Bobby is boring. But for the most part, it wasn't an issue. I'm not saying this is an excuse for Austin Theory because he stepped his cookies up because they are unfortunately crumbling. And I am not interested in seeing him on TV as US champion. I also feel like because of the rankings are messed up, it's kind of hard. You should be working your way up to fight Seth and top guys. No matter how good you are, you should not be up here working with Seth in your first couple of years. You need to be fighting Dolph. You need to be fighting Gender, Montez, Dawkins, Chad Gable. These are people you need to work with. People who are on your level, but at the same time can elevate you. Because being working with top dudes, they own their top shit. So they don't have time to sit down and baby you because they're already on the move. Nobody's gonna say, hey, you need to, work on this, do this, that, and the third. What they see on the surface, you got potential, keep working hard. And they gonna keep it moving. Nobody's telling you you're not connecting with the crowd. I think John Cena has said it. I think it was on the game. He said it some fucking weird, but he said he made a mistake of trying to gain respect of the peers and not actually working the crowd. You don't need your peers to be successful in this business. You want to have a good match, make sure you're safe, and all that other stuff. But you
Said
don't
what
need your peers.
good does it do to not have top dudes wrestle and shine light on new incoming guys? Because when the light is shined, they
Hold
feel it.
on, I got it, Tiffany. I got it because when you come into a school, you're not going when you're like 6 years old. You're not going straight to eighth grade. Make that make sense. You have to work your way up. Back then, back in the early 2010s, Roman wasn't coming in directly working with Brock. Roman had to work Miz. Roman had to go through Seth. Roman had to work the Usos. Roman had to work Braun. Roman had to work all these people before he became a top dude competing with top dudes.
Fair.
Same as Seth. Same as Big E.
Yeah.
Kofi, not even working with top dudes, and he was a champion.
Yep.
So what do you mean? What good does it do if you don't have they're in the company together. They're going to see each other. They work with each other on house shows, on TV, primetime television, live television. You should not be working with top dudes on a consistent basis like that.
Especially when you're not contending with them level wise on their character. Seth is light years ahead of Austin Theory. You can say him and Austin Theory had a decent matchup all you want to. Well, Austin Theory was getting his ass chewed out on the microphone on a weekly basis. Bobby Lashley was fucking him up on promos. And when Bobby Lashley is out working you on promos,
It's a
there is a
problem
problem. You
because
can't
Bobby is a
tell me
stick in the
that's
mud.
like, because Bobby doesn't do good promos. He's a meathead.
He had MVP talk for him for a whole what was that? A good 8 months,
Yeah.
damn near a year,
And
two years.
it's not even that Theory can't be a top guy, because he can. I never said that he wasn't good or that he doesn't have the opportunity to be great. My problem is Theory is out there. He's wrestling. He's doing all this shit. And to me, it's all for nothing. What has he gained except for saying that he had a match with John Cena? So has some of the other people who have had matches with John Cena. John Cena is out of the game. John Cena is no longer a part of the E. And I would say the same thing if Edge was coming in after being gone for weeks and months and years at a time, having one match a year. It's the same thing. You put in your work against those who are there. So him having his feud with Seth Rollins, yes, that was smart. I didn't have an issue with that. To Don's credit, he's saying these guys need to have stepping stones again, pushing them up to the top because you believe they're a star and they are not getting over with the crowd effectively like they should. For guys like you, it is easy for them to get over. Why? Because all you care about is the match at the end of the day.
Go watch
As long
AEW.
as long as they work in that match, you're good. You have no issues. Austin Theory, in theory, no pun intended, in theory, he has the look, he has the drive, he has the moves, he has everything he needs on paper. What he lacks is personality and character. And that's true for
Yeah.
half of the fucking IWC right now. That is true for half of the guys on the indies right now. That is why 90% of them will never make it to the WWE. And it is not because they are not good enough or because WWE doesn't see their potential. It's because they're not going to get over with the crowd. You can be a Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan had charisma.
Okay.
Daniel Bryan had charisma and he was able to develop a character that resonated with everybody because he looked like the average man. And that's where he gets over. It has nothing, and then his ring capability puts him well over the top. Okay? Now, if we're keeping it real, Austin Theory has the look, he has the in-ring capability, but where is the character? How is he going to work a story? All we're going to get is the vicious attacks and the attitude. Fine, but what are you going to get when you're in the ring and Seth Rollins is chewing you the fuck out every single night? Or the legend like John Cena comes in and eats your ass up in 2 minutes?
And all you want to do is cut a promo in an empty arena.
And that's all you can do. And then you're standing out there and he's chewing your ass up. Chewed your ass up in 2 minutes. Your only response to him was to try to reverse psychology, gaslight him into a match. What he said to him was the truth. And it's what I've been saying about Theory since his ass got there. I know why you see the potential in Austin Theory. Because he has the capabilities of thousands of stars that we've seen come through the WWE. He has the agility, the speed, and the technical prowess to be great. All of that is all well and good, but tell me why most people love Stone Cold Steve Austin. It is not because of his in-ring capability.
Okay.
Because I can guarantee you this, Stone Cold Steve Austin at best is mediocre in the ring. And even he admits that. That's not why your favorites got over. That's just not why. Now you've got workhorse guys like Kevin, like Sammy, like Seth, and if we go into AEW, like Adam Cole, okay? You have those workhorse guys who can be great in the ring and have amazing personalities. You have those types of guys. Austin Theory is not one of them.
A lot of people forget about the aspect of WWE, not wrestling, but WWE in general. It's entertainment. Wrestling, it is a part of it. It's a very big component of it, but that's not the main goal. And y'all get upset when people can't wrestle. And it's crazy y'all get upset when people can't wrestle, but y'all don't get upset when people don't have no character.
That's true.
Y'all be lighting motherfuckers up when they can't wrestle, or like Carmella do 50 million super kicks. Credit, she don't need to do all that. But anyways, when she do 50 million super kicks, y'all be mad. Oh, she not really wrestling. But she's telling a story. She can tell a story than half the women back there. That's why she stays on TV. That's why people stay on TV, because they can give you a story. It's entertainment. Entertainment is the longevity of the business, not wrestling skill. It's plenty of it. They all there because they can wrestle. Dana can wrestle, but Dana ass just now getting the character.
I don't know what that is, but
not you don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is.
She was doing something with the 24/7 championship.
Okay, she tried. Okay, I give her that.
I'll say that. However, the name of the game is entertaining. Austin is not entertaining, and I love Austin. I've been on Austin ass since he put that pen to that paper. I said I'm there.
Yeah, he was.
I was intrigued, and then they took him straight out of Evolve and put him on TV.
I saw they didn't put him on NXT. I saw him in Evolve, and I know what he's capable of, which is why I'm gonna be on his ass until I get what I want.
Because he can actually do the character work, and oftentimes what I hear is during the early 2010s and like the late 2000s, that's when the change had came in. That's when you had the guys that was working in the 1990s, seeing the guys come in the 2000s, telling them, they giving them advice on character work, like, just be yourself, but find yourself inside that character, and that's how you work. But nobody in the 2010s and the early 2000s telling that for these people in the late 2010s and coming in the 2020s. All they saying is, I see the potential. What the fuck does that mean? I could look at a menu and say, I think that meal sounds good. But when I eat it, it's dog shit.
I'm not saying that the tag team titles are great and everybody should be worshiping those titles. I believe wholeheartedly that they are not booked properly, and I think they were introduced too early. I think Sasha and Bailey made a grave error by pushing those titles to be introduced first before a women's mid-card title was introduced. Number one, there was no tag team division to introduce those titles into. They should have used a Mae Young Classic or a tournament of some kind to create a division for the women so that they could have a successful tag team division to be able to have those belts to flourish in. So, where Brandon is correct when he was commented under the post on Instagram is that there is no prestige attached to the tag team titles. On that part, we agree because of the way that they were introduced and how they were pushed through. While I agree with Bailey and Sasha in terms of the women needed more opportunities, there had to be a space to give them the opportunities. There was none. You didn't think it through all the way. And what you did was created the space and pushed yourselves in there to get the titles out there and was like, okay, it's going to work. It's going to work. No, it isn't. There was nobody else to help build tag teams. You had to put together singles competitors to create tag teams for that division. That was the mistake. The mistake you made was so busy. You were so it was not done. It wasn't done to be malicious. Let me put that out there first. It wasn't malicious, but I do think that it was selfish because you weren't thinking. You know how they booked the women's titles to begin with. So for you to assume that they were going to somehow book these titles with any
Bailey and
respect,
Sasha.
thank you. How could you even think that when you had to fight just to be seen on television? You knew what the women had to go through just for y'all to be able to have the type of match that you had in NXT. You were not working for Triple H at that time. You were working for Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's a whole horse of a different color. So you should have known better.
Okay.
You should have known better.
Y'all came in, well, I'll say Sasha came in under the Bellas regime, so you know how hard the shit is.
That's what I was saying.
He got
That's
mad
what
at
I'm
them for
saying.
bringing in new viewers.
Right.
Because he couldn't control the shit no more.
My problem is you knew what you were getting into, and that's what have but that's where you put it. You act as if you didn't know that this was going to happen. And I'm not saying you don't have a right to be upset, but at this point the anger is just misplaced. Because you have to think about what you're saying to me. You're saying to me you expected them to treat these titles with respect. How? When the women can barely get more than 5 minutes on television. How can you expect that when you were coming from NXT and you saw that Vince could rip up a script in a second and y'all had to act out on the fly how to get this damn story over without the bullet points that you had? You got to go off of your own head, off the cuff, because Vince had tore up the script. 20 minutes before the show's in shambles. Y'all scrounging trying to figure out how to get this shit working. Sasha said it herself. When we were in NXT, shit was booked 2 and 3 months ahead of time. We knew where we were headed. We didn't have to worry about that. And the women's tag team titles are brand new titles. They're the newest titles on the roster. So who do you think they're going to cut every time they need to make room on a show and there's a match scheduled for the tag team titles? You think they're going to cut the U.S. championship? No. It's a man's championship. They're not going to cut that belt. They're not going to cut that. They're going to cut the women's titles because no one cares about the titles. And every time you fans get on social media and say the bullshit that you say, you prove them right.
I'll say it was a hit and miss decision. It was a hit because it gave them, a new avenue, but it was a miss be putting them on Sasha and Bailey. That kind of set the tone for the division. One, you two were not a team. Y'all never been a team up until what 5 months prior to before the titles were introduced. Which y'all should have did. Y'all should have vouched for the titles and put them on a real team. Which there were three real teams at that time. You had Tamina and Nia Jax, family, automatic team. Mandy and Sonya, they've been a team since they got there, hadn't
Yeah,
broken up. Then you had
true.
Riot Squad, they
Yep.
had been around the same time as long as Mandy and Sonya been a team. Those were your three options to go with. You could have had a face team with Liv and Sarah Logan. You had two heel teams. Ultimately, they should have went to Mandy and Sonya,
I agree.
and they should have been the ones to never drop that belt until Otis came into the picture.
I would have put it on Riot Squad.
I would have had to go in between both of those.
I would
But
have had them be the champions with using the Freebird rule.
and if anything, what I said was you had another opportunity to at WrestleMania. You could have gave it to Natty and Beth. But you went the Iconics, which I understand why you went the Iconics route. But the second you found out the Bellas couldn't do it, you should have had something else going on. And I was like, oh, we gonna have y'all, wrestle the Bellas, but they fell through. Nikki's neck ain't cleared, so we don't really have nothing for you. And then you let them sit there and rack up days. And then from that moment on, y'all just put two bitches together and call it a team.
Yep.
Which, granted, it works when they're individuals who are not who don't depend on somebody else. When you got two people like Emma and Dana that depend on each other that can work well with each other, that's when you have a team. I'm not taking Oscar and Charlotte and putting them together because it's cute on paper,
Which they did do.
which is a colossal waste of time. It's so many women that has held those belts, and I can only name about five. They set those belts up for failure. And it's like y'all didn't prove anything about winning these belts or, getting those belts. Normally what people say is, I made Vince do da da da, or Vince put me in this position as a joke. And, I made chicken soup out of chicken shit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all was trying to make burgers out of chicken shit. And you got shit and bread. Which who was that helping? And to your credit, I understand why you were mad because they didn't get picked up off the ground like they should be, because you have stories and shit like that are profoundly better than us watching the Usos beat every fucking body.
Which is what we keep getting even now.
So I understand your frustration with that. But be for real, y'all set the tone for two odd bitches that are single competitors because y'all best friends that don't make the cut for y'all to be tag champions. And y'all story wasn't even worthy of winning those belts, to be honest with you.
They were best friends and they wanted to have a tag team belt so that they can win them, which is why I
And
said the
that's
reality
pathetic.
the reality of it is that while yes you were trying to create a position for the women to be able to have better opportunities, it was a selfish decision to create those tag team titles without being smart about how they were going to be booked.
Yes.
You
The
had
fact that
to
he
know.
gave it to you as a constellation prize to shut the fuck up,
Yes, that's
that should tell
basically
you
what he
something.
did.
They say that they was like, yeah, they was like he had really no true intentions on giving us the belt. He just wanted us to be quiet because they was like it was either we be quiet or we get fired. One of y'all got fired. Well, quit, fired, same difference.
To Sasha's credit, I am not mad at her for doing what she did in response to how they booked her and Naomi. Because it seemed
Absolutely
like
not.
as soon as Naomi got on the title, they was just like, we're not gonna book this today. And I'm
Right.
just like, y'all always doing Naomi so fucking dirty. That's why I do not blame her for not going back. I don't blame her for that at all. Like y'all motherfuckers gonna respect me one way or another. I've been
Period.
10 toes down for this company for years, never complained, never said a word. And the moment that I finally get a WrestleMania moment outside of the one I got on my own, I'm able to share that with somebody I really care about. And here y'all go treating me like I'm some backwater ass bitch. Hell no, I'm out of here. I don't fucking blame her. Go beat
Yeah.
Athena's ass because she real high on her horse too. Go over there in Ring of Honor and take that title straight from her ass so she can shut the fuck up.
He just want her to be quiet.
I need her to shut the fuck up. I really do.
But it's like
I don't,
you should have known from the get that that was not going to work, especially with no division there.
That's what I was saying. So
Brandon
if you're
said they
gonna,
messed up. He said they messed up again when they gave NXT their own women's titles instead of floating between all three brands. When they folded, it felt like a legit division with NXT included. I mean, it did,
they
but
rarely went to
you didn't
NXT.
see they went to NXT twice. Once with
Nia
Sasha and
and
Bayley, and then Nia and Shayna went, and that was the
Shayna was
last time.
yeah, and they went. Which I didn't even think Nia and Shayna was gonna be a good tag team, but that's another tag team I missed. They
Yeah,
actually had the titles and they made them work.
yeah, they were
They
on
were
TV
coveted.
a
People
lot.
was going after them titles. Okay, they was coveting them titles. And I'm like, that's what I mean. Like, you are able to
You
take an impossible situation and turn it into something that can work for you. That's fucking smart. The same thing I expect. I didn't expect that from Shayna and Nia. I don't really expect
okay?
a lot from Nia, but she was able to rise to the occasion. Nah, fun facts. Like I expect a lot from
They
Shayna because
yeah.
I know what Shayna is capable of, and Shayna does what she's supposed to within the means of what she's allotted.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Nia Jax, she had a little bit more freedom than Shayna did. And you could tell by how she wrestled and how they kept sending her ass out there. Okay.
Okay. The
So,
promo she was cutting.
right. Right. So Nia Jax, I didn't expect shit out of her, but she rose to the occasion. I give her a props for props to do. When it came down to them tag team titles,
They
they were
did that.
just as coveted as those women's belts were. Now,
Yeah.
put it into perspective. Kofi and Xavier were the tag team champions at that time. They were not being booked the same way that the women were. Because
Okay,
when you
because I
think
even
of,
remember that.
because they weren't, because that's when Morrison and Miz took the titles off of them.
I don't remember that shit either.
Exactly my point. But to go back to my original point, did y'all say that the tag team titles should be shelved because of how boring they were as champions? Because we was just tired of Kofi and Xavier being champions.
Mm-hmm.
Because they always had the belts. Did you ask for those belts to be put on the shelf?
No.
What did you ask for? We need new champions. We want better bookings for these belts. The rhetoric changes by the belt, and it's usually whether a man's carrying it or a woman's carrying it.
And that's why I be saying a lot of times, like, the women wrestling fans do not be helping.
That's what I'm talking about. Because, but per what Brandon said on Instagram, he said there was no prestige attached to the women's tag team championships. Okay, bet I give you that. There's a lot of prestige attached to those tag team titles, and those tag team titles are coveted whether it's a shitty booking or not.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody asks for those titles to be put on the shelf. They have never said that the tag team titles are the worst titles in the WWE. I ain't never heard that. No matter who had the fucking belts. And at one point, the fucking B team had the belts.
Yeah, under Miz.
Okay?
Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder had the belts, and they had
Kurt,
the belts for a lengthy time.
thank you. And nobody said those belts should be shelved. Nobody said those belts were trash and they need to go in the garbage. What they say? This is a shitty tag team. They need to drop these titles to somebody else. That was the rhetoric. That's
Because
what I
it's
was
like,
trying to say.
when people be like, oh, the tag titles need to be in the trash, I'm like, no, because as much as they don't really get booked, they get some booking, and it allows another avenue for people to be under. Whereas you get rid of them, we're back to just two titles.
Mm-hmm.
and we already see how that booking is going. They like long term storytelling, so it's gonna go between about what the champion and three other people.
Because if we're being real, like let's keep it real, Raquel and Liv are not going to be champion long because Raquel is going to be the next person to go up against Rhea Ripley for that damn women's SmackDown Women's Championship.
And Liv is
She's
gonna
gonna
follow right
challenge.
behind her.
Yep, she's gonna challenge her, right? So the only thing I can think of is that when Ronda's finally cleared, they're probably gonna end up dropping them damn titles to them too, which is fine. Live your life, do whatever the fuck you want. At this point, as long as y'all do something with the titles, y'all gotta do something with them. I don't know what the fuck y'all gonna do, but you gotta do something. Okay. But that because to me it just don't make sense. You got somebody like Raquel who is obviously one of the people who's gonna challenge Rhea Ripley for that championship, as would be Liv, because whether you like it or not, Liv is a star. She's one of the stars on the show. Now, granted, they probably not gonna start doing none of that shit until after the draft,
So
which is fair.
that's another situation. Let's drop back. We need to swap out Backlash because this is ridiculous.
Well,
Backlash is holding us up. It's like they say WrestleMania is the reset, but then we have to sit through Backlash, which is basically a rerun of WrestleMania.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that shit. I
the
already
reset,
saw it
the reset is not resetting right now.
at all. Like, put us back when Money in the Bank was right after Mania.
Now that was fun.
That shakes some shit up.
But right now, you got Lesnar on Cody, which is something new.
I
Fine.
suppose. I mean, that's okay given the situation,
I'll
but we
guess
know what it is. That's just Roman racking up days.
Roman's not there, so Roman's gonna be gone for a minute. He's gonna be gone for the rest of this month. More than likely,
Hmm.
he's not gonna show up, and he's not gonna be around for Backlash because I'm telling y'all, it's a 6-man tag team going into Backlash.
Yeah, they said reports already said that he's not gonna be there.
He's not going to be at Backlash. He has no match schedule for Backlash. It's all the wrestling pay-per-views after that, all the PLEs after that that Roman is booked for. Money in the Bank, King and Queen of the Ring, and he's booked for SummerSlam. That's probably going to be his last hoorah would be SummerSlam. And more than likely Cody's going to win the opportunity to go up against Roman again at SummerSlam in Detroit.
Did you talk about Logan Paul resigning?
No,
Oh,
no.
well, that happened.
I mean,
I
yeah,
guess.
he resigned. In our podcast group chat, I was just like, I swear it was just gonna be like a year. But then after I thought about it, I'm like, because he's
He
done so
did so
great,
well. Yeah.
they're like the partnership is working. Let's keep him around. I'm not mad that Logan's there, but my problem with Logan is very similar to my problem with Austin Theory. But the difference between Theory and Logan is that Logan doesn't do this for a living. This is a
Hmm.
side hustle for Logan Paul. So I can't be too mad at him, but his promo work is ass. It is abysmal.
Okay, he get clear to be ready to fight.
Like he doesn't do well on the character front. Like he basically is himself, which is fine. His self is a piece of shit, so it works. He
Hmm.
basically is himself in the ring, and everybody's just dogging you the fuck out. Seth Rollins cleared your ass the last time y'all was in the ring together. Cleared you. And you're just like, are you mad because I'm good at it in 5 minutes and you're good? It took you 20 years. And it's like,
No,
bro,
because I
yeah,
had to do something.
that's what the
I'm
fuck I
like,
just said. Like, what do you mean? I literally just said you don't belong here. Yeah, I'm mad
mm,
about that. Yeah, yes, yes, that's what I'm angry about. I'm angry that you're like, are you mad because I'm getting paid to do the PLEs and I don't have to break my back for hot dogs? I'm like, yeah,
Yes, basically, that's essentially
Yes,
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying.
saying. Why are you asking me questions and you already know the answer? Yes, yes, I am. What the fuck? Like you sit up on YouTube and you have your podcast going and shit, great for you. And you're sitting here and you come over here into my world and you just come here and take over. I don't like that shit. I wouldn't like that shit either. I cuss your ass the fuck out.
I be like, stop talking about some shit you don't know because all your business is out there.
Now see, they not petty, but I'm petty.
I'm
I'm
petty. I
like,
was like, why is it that we see don't you got a twin? Why is it we just see you and not your twin?
don't you got another brother's girlfriend to fuck or some shit like that? I mean, are we a sociopath today or a normal human being today? It's like everything you do is for the views. You have no realism to you at all. So no matter how good you are in this ring, it doesn't matter. We still hate you. You're still a horrible human fucking being, and I'm gonna beat your ass at this next PLE.
Yeah, you better stop talking. You better keep your distance while I fry your ass crispy with that metal hand you got. Why you think it's a one hitter quitter? I'm gonna
Right, you
show you a
got
one hitter quitter.
a screw, one screw.
That one screw is gonna send twice as many volts through your body when I tase your stupid ass. Now back
Facts.
your dumb ass up.
Like it just. And like I said, don't get me wrong. I think Logan Paul is a great wrestler, which is shocking to me. I know he has a wrestling background. I'm well aware of that. And while that aids him in his abilities, he has taken on to the sport extremely well, as did Bad Bunny. He's another one
Hmm.
that I was very surprised and shocked by, that they put all of their dedication and work into being who they are in that ring, but actually showcasing what they're capable of in that ring. It's a great thing. And I'm glad that they respected the sport, that they're not using it as a means of just boosting themselves, but actually honing in and respecting what these people do on a daily basis. I'm glad that they're doing that.
Yes.
My issue with Logan Paul is that he didn't do that on his character work. Now, Bad Bunny, he hasn't had to really do that because he's Bad Bunny and in the ring, he's wrestling.
His
But Logan,
opponents work the story for him.
exactly. But
Whereas
Logan
Logan Paul,
Paul,
you want to be personal.
like you're a heel. So a lot of the work is on you to do. Your biggest job is to get people to hate you or resonate with you on a heel level. I don't resonate with you on a heel level because you're a piece of shit.
You are already a piece of shit.
And you haven't given me a reason to care about what you're talking about. Yes, you came into the E and was able to pick up on it very quickly. Congratulations.
Because who has he went up against? He beat
Besides Seth,
Miz.
Miz, and Roman Reigns,
Okay, so he really ain't got no bragging rights for real.
Seth, Miz, Roman Reigns, and Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Those are the people he's gone up against.
Okay, well you can build something off that. God
I
damn,
mean, he's had heavy hitters. He
you can
challenged
build off
Roman for
that.
the damn championship at the Saudi show. Claim he tore both his ACLs.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, well, how you just pop up out of nowhere, but you
If you
tore
tore
both your
your
ACLs?
ACLs,
That's the kind of shit I be talking about.
because
Just be
motherfuckers be
fucking
blowing their
lying.
ACLs out and they be out for
A
a
year.
year, and that's just
That's one ACL.
recovery.
Right.
That's getting back to your regular self.
Exactly. That's not wrestling shape. Fuck out of here. Shit.
They don't know how to work the situation. All I was saying, oh, you mad as I took 5 minutes to do what you did in 20 years. Yeah, I am upset about that. What you should have been saying is you mad because I'm in your lane. I'm beating people like The Miz, future Hall of Famer. Rey Mysterio, Hall of Famer. I went and took it to your brother's house. I didn't win. But I didn't get bitched out like you did.
Oh, now see, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't.
And that would have
That's
been
a
like,
good one.
oh, you like, oh, he kind of got you there.
I mean,
Then
he
you would have
would have.
gagged him.
He would have.
But it's like I said, entertainment. Everybody ain't got it.
You know, like, cause if I recall, your ass was getting choked out with a guillotine.
You won, but you didn't come out with the win for real, did you?
I didn't get choked out.
I
I
said
might have got
now.
beaten, but I didn't get choked out.
I said let's remember. Let's take it back even further. How about when you was fighting to get on a WrestleMania card, and I
Mm.
just popped up on the talk show?
Ooh. Meanwhile, you
Remember
had to
that?
dance on Vince McMahon's desk just to get a match against Cody, to which he beat you at.
Okay.
Child, I'd have been going. I mean, that's
It's
simple
a
shit
lot of
though.
shit you could say.
That's simple shit though. I'd been like, it's a lot going on when a man
And the
gotta go
best
get
you
a
can
whole
say,
stylist. Gotta get a whole stylist, change up your look, switch up your hair, put a nice little laugh on just so you can be relevant again. It take a lot. Whereas all I gotta do is walk out here with this prime bottle and cheese at the camera, and I get a bunch of booze, and then I can go home.
okay?
I get paid to work at the bigger shows because I am the draw. You get paid to draw in the people at the little shows because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm a star, and you're at the bottom. You
You
look
could
up
took a
to me.
semi. You could took a semi person. I was like, how about after I beat your ass, you can go home and be a stay at home dad. Does that
That's
sound good to you?
that's
See,
fucked up.
I said, I'm pretty sure the man wouldn't mind
You're like,
having a
you can
bitch in her house.
right. You can always come on impulsive and talk about how being a stay-at-home dad is amazing for you.
Hell, it's just the best thing you've done since wrestling, since you couldn't really do anything here.
Yeah, I mean, because I took your spot.
I took
And
your
you're
spot, and I'm part time on part time.
mm, part-time big leagues.
Okay,
I mean, your wife is big time Bex, but is she really big time?
and she really big time, and it's
I
so
mean,
sad that it takes two of y'all to cover a whole check. It's just me.
it's just me. I get the millions right off the bat. You know, took Becky. Becky had to, Lucky Charms her way into that shit.
I was like, you making clothes look good, but damn it, I made a Pokemon card get its value. We not on the same level. We on the same level. Again, 20 years, 5 minutes. That's all it takes. I ain't got nothing to say to your ass. But
That's
instead,
when you
you go
fight.
to the cheap route.
Then that's when you fight. You
Right.
then you hit him with that knockout, and I just be like, I can't stand this motherfucker.
But he didn't tow your ass a new
But
one.
he done tore you up in the promos, baby. What can I do? What can I say? That's all I ask. If you gonna be a heel, you got to be good at it. You
I'll
can't
be
just be aggressive and spitting everywhere and then wrestling good in the ring and then everybody's supposed to just be on your side. Now everybody hated Mark Henry, but Mark Henry was an evil son of a bitch.
He was doing mean at, but he was beating motherfuckers up, slamming them on stairs and shit.
He was cruel.
So he didn't have to really cut a promo. His work really spoke for itself.
That's all I'm
And that's
saying.
what he said. He was like, "What are you thinking? Like, what do you have to say about this, Mark?" He was like, "I ain't got nothing to say.
He said,
Play my
I beat
music."
motherfuckers' ass. That's what I do. I was like,
I was like, "Okay,
I better leave that no-eye motherfucker alone because his damn eyebrows got lower and lower. I'm like, leave that motherfucker alone.
okay." I knew he was real when he cut his. I said, "Oh, he didn't cut
Oh,
his braids up." I said, "He
right.
getting to the business. I'm about to get your ass whooped for real."
Them braids was receding everywhere.
I'm glad he took that shit off. I was
In
like,
the
"Oh,
middle of the damn head. I said, baby, please.
here comes sexual chocolate with his braids."
Ugh. Not sexual chocolate.
Sexual chocolate.
There was a time where him and May, when him and
She
May
gave birth to
Young
that
was,
foot.
oh my God, that shit took me out. That hand, and then they did like a Raw 25 or some shit, or the Raw 15 or something, and then they had the hand grown up. WWE was on some shit back in the day.
I wish they'd be on some shit today.
They can't because everything got to be politically correct, and everything is absurd and stupid.
But it's like I said in the group chat, I'm like, you can get ridiculous and still follow the guidelines. Like it's not far fetched. Look at AEW.
I mean, they literally had a mimosa match.
It's okay. Like it's not hard. Like y'all can really get ridiculous with it. Like the last craziest thing I seen was Sting pushing Seth Rollins into the trash compactor.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was the last craziest thing we seen. You know, sans the pandemic shit. But it's not hard to get wild. It's not hard to write a script to go check a motherfucker. Y'all just boring. If y'all figure y'all can't say jackass, bitch ass, dumbass, that it's not worth the promo. No. It's so many things you can say to clear somebody, and you don't have to get personal.
I'll be back.
It's just me, y'all. You ain't gotta get personal. I be clearing people all the time and I ain't gotta get personal. What y'all think in the comments? I need y'all to speak. I don't like dry air. Clear said my grandmother asked me rhetorical questions like that. Makes me want to get up and leave. I ask rhetorical questions all the time. Go to, did y'all get that fat transfer? Where is it? Another thing is, I feel like there's so many avenues out here for entertainment, and people do not use them all. Like you can pick from songs, you can pull from movies, like what Bianca and Alexa did with Scary Movie. That's still getting reposted to this day. People are going crazy about it. Uh-oh. What's going on with my TV? That's the shit I be talking about. That's the shit I be talking about. Who says I miss the OW when they had 18 and up stuff showing on TV. Now it's kid friendly. Like bring back that. I mean, it's kid friendly because so many kids are watching it. I don't have a problem with it being kid friendly, but you also have to cater to your adults. The kids are not your only. Of course, it's always something with you. I'm so over it. The kids is not your only source of income. The kids have parents. The parents got the money. It's other shit you can do instead of catering to kids. Kids, I blame John Cena, honestly. He's the one that brought all this shit on us. And his kids in the audience, the kids are watching. Da, 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 da. But it's like, it's more to it. You can. Did you like the Young Boy and Nicki new song? I ain't listened to it. How was my day? My day was
Turn the fan on, please.
I had a pretty good day. Not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be bad because, as y'all know, I had my cups to ship out. I shipped out my first batch, but I went to USPS. I had no fucking idea they had a shortage on workers, so they closed at 12. I went to two locations that did. They both said they were closing at 12, and I went to FedEx, see if they could ship it. They was like, we only ship FedEx. I was like, well, that's not very homosexual of you guys, but okay.
NBA YoungBoy and Nicki Minaj got a new song.
Yeah. I hadn't heard it
Boo!
yet. It sounds decent. He
I'm
said,
not-
"Girl, fuck them kids." I mean, yeah, but no. So it's like for me, I understand you have a kid crowd to cater to. However, you do have other mature audience to cater to as well. Your kids is not the only thing that's fucking that you should be worried about. Kids are not watching USA. Kids are not on Fox. Like, let's be for real. Yes, you have children viewers because it's wrestling. And look how far, look what y'all done. Kids have always been watching, apparently. But at the same time, kids are not on a USA network. Kids are not on a Fox network. You don't have to be specifically PG. Let's boost the rating up a little bit. We ain't gotta get, rated R. We ain't gotta be crazy with the shit. But we can get a little raunchy. We can get a little something, something, something going on. Like, I remember saying when the Usos was into it with rest in peace, Brody Lee, with the Bludgeon Brothers, Brody Lee and Rowan. I was like, they could have kidnapped Naomi. The same way Eminem had kidnapped Trish. They could have kidnapped Naomi, was like, you want her back, you have to fight her. You have to fight for her. This, that, and the third. Since she basically injected herself into the feud, want to be a distraction and shit. You want to be a distraction? We got your distraction. Kidnap her ass.
I mean, fair.
Hold her ass for about a good 3-4 weeks, and then you get her back. You don't. That does not require going out of PG range. It's other stuff to do besides the regular old okie doke. Like, so I'm saying, like, y'all not really being creative. You can't wait to be a wrestler. Oh, Brady, you want to wrestle? Let me find out, cause Brandy, I will knock your motherfucking lights out. I'm an equal opportunist, so I fight everybody. Hands is ready to eat for everyone. I like the storyline with Naomi and Jimmy and Mandy when Mandy was trying to get all sexy in the robe in the hotel room. Yeah, like that's how you do it. There's other ways to go about telling a story, but at the same time, like I've said a couple times, there's nobody really pushing the envelope. People will look at the script, read it, and be like, okay, I can do that. Like the whole situation with this is I say this because this is the part. This is a real situation that really pissed me off when I was watching it with Becky and Piper. When Piper was like, "I've been waiting to get my get back on you, and this is my time to shine. I've been waiting on this opportunity for the longest." And I'm like, "How have you been? What get back? Y'all never crossed paths, as far as we know. On the Indies, I don't know, probably so, but." In the y'all have never crossed paths. So how are you been waiting for this opportunity to get back at Becky? Becky ain't did shit to you, and that's what I mean. Like y'all, they read shit on script. Going back to Austin Theory, like you read this shit on script, knowing that none of this shit fits with your character, but you gonna try to make it work. You cannot make some shit work that ain't meant for you. Literally, it doesn't make sense. You forcing this shit. John, who are some of your favorite wrestlers? Oh, that's a very big loaded question. I'll do you want all time or as of right now? Answer that for me. What's another situation that we could have got? Um, I feel like the realest situation we've seen to date was between Becky and Bianca, as well as Sasha and Bianca before it went into SummerSlam. When Sasha was like, "Get real, bitch," and Bianca was like, "Bitch, who? Wait a minute, hold on." And then the whole situation with the cutting of the hair, like that's how shit get real. Oh, you said all time. Okay, all time. Who child? That's a question. Um. Okay, for the men, I'm gonna say all time. I'm gonna say Dolph, Miz. Um. I liked Caval now Loki in MLW because he was a smaller guy, and I just knew that I was never gonna be like 6 feet tall. It was just not in the cards to me, and it was never given that I was going to be 6 feet tall. But I am a strong 5'9" now, which is very interesting to me because a 5'9" back then is different from a 5'9" back now. I'm 5'9", which is cute. Um, I'm going to have to add Dijakovic to the list, and newly edition, let's say Carmelo Hayes. That's for the men. For the women, we're gonna go Charlotte. She said Cactus Jack, Jeff, Jake the Snake, Lita, Randy Orton. Oh, I forgot about Randy. I don't know how that slipped my mind. Don't smoke, y'all. Don't smoke unless you can handle it. Um, for the women, I'm gonna say Charlotte is one of them. I'm gonna say Trish, even though I rag on Trish a lot. Trish is one of the girls. She's a storyteller, and I love that. I'm gonna say Mickey. Um, I want to say Sasha. And for that last spot, personal bias on fucking side because I cannot stand her for real. But I love the work that she put in within the business. I'm going to say Michelle McCool. And there's plenty more, but those are the ones that's on the top of my head right now. I also like the storyline with AJ when she was basically in a relationship with Kane, Daniel Bryan, and John. Don't forget CM Punk because he was in that loop too when she kissed all three of them. Yeah, you could do stuff like that as well. Um, it's other things. It's just a lot of work you can do that you can move around within the PG realm. You're just lazy. It's a lot of things out here. What else is real? The last one of the good stories also was between Bailey, Sasha, and Lacey Evans. Despite the match not living up to the story because of the fact of that Lacey Evans was just not ready for that kind of work yet, which then again links to the fact is why you cannot put these potential people up against your major stars. It's gonna fall through every time. This ain't the 2000s, y'all. These people are actually working somewhat. Um, that was just one of the last stories where it felt real because of the shit they was talking about and how it went down. It's just a lot of things that they can do, but they don't do. And when they do weddings, well, weddings are always gonna be here. I mean, it depends. Bobby and Lana's wedding was kind of weird. Then the end of the wedding, Bobby's goddamn eyebrow all on Lana's face. It was just crazy. It was more so funny than it was um effective, I would have to say. What but in terms of that story, I will say Lana and Liv did make that shit work, even though it was a shit story. They pulled that out the ass and actually made it interesting to see where it was going to go afterwards.
Those are is what is the damn? I can't remember the damn castle.
Well, which castle is it?
Um,
Clash at the Castle.
Shut up, stupid.
I can't remember the name of the damn castle because I looked down on YouTube. I want to try to figure that shit out.
Oh, you suck.
What's some other questions, y'all?
I'm not gonna leave the damn map to come together.
But ultimately, when I wrestle, um, the main two I'm going to pull from is Miz and Charlotte.
I mean, fair. I don't have a problem with that. Gotta give Miz his props.
No, it can't. No, Kane will and Zack on stage does not beat when Edge willed
When he wheeled him down them stairs,
when he will Paul Bear down the fucking
that
stairs.
shit was hilarious. He crying.
That shit had me fucking dead. Ain't no
That's what he said. He was crying his head. Jane,
I'm like,
Jane.
Kane, I'm like, I know you big, but motherfucker, it does not take a month to catch up to Edge. Please.
He could not run for them. Them
Child,
knees was rickety.
I'm like, if you don't get to this man faster than that, it's gonna be some problems.
That man was crying. Jane,
Please,
save me.
please.
I said, ooh,
Please
good
save
man.
this man, cause he is crying. He is about to die. Jesus. Um, he's a piece of shit now. But Alberto Del Rio, any story he was in, he made that shit real.
Yeah, everybody was a pedo. Call you a fucking dog, though. Be like, bitch, call me
I
a
mean,
dog
Kane
one more
kidnapped
motherfucking
Eve
time.
and John saved her. Yeah, some things just be weird. Oh, remember when Brock pushed the handicapped boy down the stairs that went back in the day? I wasn't watching back in the day, but I do remember that he had a match with somebody with one leg, and that one leg man gave it to his ass till Brock decided he was done fucking around. He thought that shit was a joke. Like Cody said, he see his opponents as victims. He thought that shit was a fucking joke till that motherfucker started actually wrestling his ass with one leg. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, was you?" Oh, okay. Let me suplex your ass real quick.
Well, I mean, Cody did make a valid point that he do see all his um
Opponents as
opponents
victim.
as victims, so
Yeah. And it's crazy that they gotta be worthy of being the victim.
couldn't be me. I was
Okay.
like, hell no, chitty chitty bang bang, that shit in all of that immediately.
I'm like, how about you go for the suplex and I tase you in the middle of it? I'm like, what? I'm just saying, since we doing shit that ain't fair, let's make it make sense. That's something somebody could buy. Let me tase your big stupid ass. Fry you crispy. Or can he say crispy? Crispy. What else, y'all? It's been some moments in here, y'all. It's crazy. Now, being I am from Chicago, I do not want to get personal like CM Punk. 'Cause he was on some shit. He was definitely on some shit. I mean, I feel like Aaron backstage business is messy, but only when you know it's actually gonna do something. But you wasn't doing it to change the game. You was doing it to put yourself on.
Come back.
Me, I'm like they back here giving y'all the okey doke,
That way.
bringing everybody else up. There's people like me you don't see. But what CM Punk said is CM Punk said I don't get my opportunities when everybody else shine.
Child.
When you put John Cena on the show, what does that do for me? Then he
I
wanted to
mean,
disguise it as I'm fighting for the people like me. And that's when Seth came in like, sir, if you was fighting people like you, we would like the opportunities would be endless. I would not have to go so fucking hard if you was fighting people like me. But I'm still out here fucking fighting. A false count anywhere. Match Don pull out a whole taser. Hell yeah. Especially for Brock ass. I don't care. Now you can find me. I'll pay it. I don't care. Fry his ass up. Fucking around with me. You too motherfucking big. Think about to sit up here and fight you fair? Hell no. You lucky I didn't take a bat to your knee. That's a permanent injury. So be lucky that I tased your stupid ass.
nigga said, not a bat to the knee.
Hell yeah.
The
In your career, bitch.
ones at the bottom of said, right
Tanya
here,
Hardin style. Fuck you
right.
mean.
Yeah.
Take him out. Take him out. That's another storyline I
The
would
nose
do.
right here. It
Mm-hmm.
needs to look like that.
Yep. And when you notice when you go outside the mat, there's that music score on the wall.
Yeah, but I'm just like,
You think old girl be wanting to sue because of that? If we tell the Tanya Hardin story,
what happened?
if we retell that story, like somebody, like say, we got this championship match, right?
Hmm.
And Raquel's the opponent. Take that bitch out with a lead pipe at the knee, and Rhea be in the ring. Raquel on the back, like, oh my god, oh I can't make the match. And then Rhea be like, oh girl, what happened? She's like, somebody attacked me with the pipe, my knee, my knee, my knee. Child, I don't know, but the show must go on. I'll take your spot.
Not the show must go on.
Yeah. You think she be wanted to sue because of that story? Or you think I don't think it's big enough. Maybe she don't watch wrestling. Let's hope. Cause I retell all the stories. Besides OJ. OJ ain't getting no time from me. His ass. I'm not gonna say what I really want to say. But just know. OJ, I know.
Mm-mm.
We all know. You want to make a mockery of it like it's a joke.
Okay.
Over here fighting Breckler and Braun Strowman. See the difference between Braun Strowman and Brock. Braun Strowman actually works. He don't mind working. He don't see people, even though like that's what he's saying in his promos. He don't see people as victims. He see it as okay. Let's put on a good ass match. Let's get this spot. I beat your ass. Then you come out of nowhere, and you start getting one up on me.
He
Whereas
needs to be
Brock,
talking outside of his neck.
he do. Whereas Brock can pick and choose who he want to work with. If he don't see you as worthy, you're not getting the match. Like the whole ordeal with Jinder Mahal. People were genuinely excited to see Jinder Mahal go against Brock because we was finally going to see Jinder get his ass beat.
Right.
But it ain't happy because he felt like gender wasn't big enough.
which I feel like was disrespectful.
Yeah, gender would had a he had a whole what was it? I don't even want to say carnival. He had a whole parade going back home to India. And you want to say he wasn't big enough?
That he did, but so do Veer Mahan and fucking Sanga. But they ain't shit you seen. They ain't been in NXT in a minute. They
That's a
just
whole
here
other
to not get
story.
over it.
They
I
got to
don't
figure out they damn. They got to figure out their dynamic because it's weird.
know. The
It's
dynamics up.
weird. It's like you want gender to put them on, but you still want gender to be the lead. You can't have both at the same time.
I don't like it. It don't work in my
Either
opinion.
gender gonna sit his ass on the sideline and manage, or they gonna have to follow behind him and help him win matches. Like you can't have both. They're not in a realm where you could do both, where gender can take lead and he don't have to particularly worry about them. That's another thing. Stop putting him with people he gotta worry about. That's so disrespectful. Which I get what y'all doing, but it's like, damn, you want me to be a fixer ever to every Indian that come through here? I can't fix them all. I
Not you can't
cannot fix
fix
them
them
all.
all.
I can't fix. I did what I can do. I can't fix them all. But I feel like you can't have gender talk about, oh, I want that champion. I want the main championship. I want the North American championship, and then have them on the separate accord going to tag team champions when they can't even get their tag shit together.
Yep.
I
You
don't like
gotta have some. They need to be on the. He needs to be on the ground, actually working with them, helping them out. That's like having a group and then somebody want to go solo. Well, what's up with your backup singers? I don't know. They gotta go. They gotta do something. But I want to go solo, so I'm not about to play with y'all.
I can't.
I'm just saying though. Which I don't fight fair either. I'll pull out the taser, thumbtack. Yeah, that's what I'd like. When I get these triple threat matches, best believe I'm grabbing a chair or tables. So I'm gonna have to give. I'm about to get the leg up on one of y'all some way or another. We're about to have a regular classic wrestling match. It's a no DQ for a reason, and I'm taking full advantage.
Well, there. Not even mad at you.
Yeah, you say that now.
Well, of course,
What
on kayfabe, I'm gonna be screaming at the TV. That's what I'm supposed to
when I
do.
watch them playbacks back, I know I'm about to be a dirty nigga and all that.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
This mother dirty ass bastard.
Yup. Yup.
Get your bitch ass up out of here. Always cheating.
Always cheating. Just can't never do nothing right. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I'm supposed to do.
You supposed to love me through thick and thin.
If I'm not reacting that way, then you're doing something wrong.
No, you're supposed to be love every move of mine. You know what?
Hell
I actually have to write that down. Y'all want to boo me? Y'all was just cheering. You're supposed to love everything I do.
no.
Everything I do.
We boo you because you horrible. That's why we boo, because you horrible.
You're a horrible human being. I think I actually do a lot of favors around here because I could end a couple careers, but I don't.
Mm, amazing. You haven't ended a career today. I'm so proud. Oh my god.
I can't
You
wait,
spared
child.
us.
I can't wait because I'm entertaining for show.
How do I get these
It's gonna
upside
be on that
down
knee.
music notes, right? The ones that's
It's
right here.
crazy.
This one.
So I said, even though it's like real,
Back here sleep.
far fetched. I mean, far, 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 far fetched. I want to hold a title in like almost every category, including the women's belts.
Oh, really?
Yes. And yeah, I do. And it's like, for me, I get it's a sport. And I don't want to take opportunities away from nobody. But at the end of the day, I like to tell stories. And me having a women's title, that could tell a hell of a story.
Yeah, you taking opportunities away from the girls.
Oh, besides that,
You know damn well that's what they got me saying. They got this man walking around with these damn.
he got the women's title. First of all, I identify as a gem that can go either way.
So
Secondly, I am giving. Ain't nobody ever had an opportunity like this. I'm just simply solidifying my name, my legacy as the greatest of all time across the board. There is not a man or a woman or other, if that's what you prefer, that can step to this. Now I'd like to see you try it.
that is a mess.
And
I
I
would
don't want to
hate
be
on
out there
every
like
minute
Santana
of it.
versus Maria. I want to have matches.
I would hate on every minute of it. Like this is some bullshit.
He's still an opportunity for the women. And for those who say I'm stealing opportunities, they have every chance to steal it back.
You know what? That's trash.
Check game, bitches. Come get y'all title.
Oh, I'll slap the hell out you.
I be in the back like, did he just call us bitches? They gonna be mad at me like they mad at Roman.
Mm. 'Cause they are pissed at Roman right
Child, they was already mad because Santana was in the Royal Rumble.
now.
He's took an opportunity away from women. One spot out of 30. Whoever took the
And they
spot.
had plenty of women. It was a wide variety of girls in the Rumble this year. It was the men's Rumble that wasn't giving no variety.
Child, the men's Rumble this year sucked. Especially because the fact we knew Cody was winning.
Yeah,
So
we
like
did.
they didn't even try to give us something. Bless Drew and Sheamus because they went in there and actually shut some shit down. And then Ricochet and Logan Paul picked it up. And then it died down again till Cody won. And then when he won, it was some cheers out there. It wasn't, a resounding okay. It was more of a yeah, we already knew this was gonna happen, but is he gonna win that Mania though? Unfortunately, we see where that went. What happened? I want my gimmick to be a mixture of Naomi with a little bit of with Sasha a little bit. You're gonna have to elaborate on that because that's not really saying much.
My gimmick would be a mixture of Cactus Jack, Randy Orton, and the Joker. What kind of psycho, what
Evil bitch.
sociopathic shit you gonna be? Child, I'm gonna be old as dirt watching y'all do wrestling. Like, I know these hoes. I used to talk to these bitches when I had a YouTube. Oh God.
I think I want the only thing Joker wise I want to do is when I do some evil, sadistic ass shit, I'ma laugh about it.
I can't stand when people do hateful shit and then they laugh at you. That makes me so fucking mad.
I
Like,
want to
bitch,
put
don't
your
don't play in
stupid
my
ass
face.
through a table and I'ma laugh about it.
Don't fucking play in my face, ho. Like,
I
don't try me
also
like that.
I also want to like kind of break the fourth wall. I want to talk to the camera. Tell them in the back to replay that because that was funny. I beat his ass.
You ain't shit.
I beat the hell out of him. Did y'all see that table shot? Crazy, huh? Mm-mm. Run that back. One day I'm gonna cut a promo and I know it's gonna be a good promo. I'm not gonna let they ass get a rebuttal in. I'm gonna be like, now play my music. DJ, play my shit. Then I'm gonna leave. The goal is when people see me, I want them to be like, this motherfucker here. Each and
Fair.
every time. Hmm.
She said that's quite a mix, Brandy. I mean, it really is.
I want to break barriers and go after SmackDown Women's Championship.
That's not breaking barriers. Why y'all can't just wrestle for the belts that's available to you?
No, that's boring. I mean,
Y'all
I
ain't shit.
would, but for me, like I said, I'd rather tell a story. I'm a storyteller.
I'm a dancer like Naomi, and I could be a boss bitch like Sasha.
I think you should do a little bit more research.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, seeing a dancer, then Sasha's not really a boss bitch.
She
For me,
cosplay as one.
I mean, maybe when she come back, she could feel more of a boss bitch.
Not when she come back.
But beforehand, like I got the legit boss, but when you started to lose
She
the way you
boss.
did, you kind of need to drift off into something else. Cause you being the boss, but you can't hold a title for more than 2 weeks.
I mean,
This is strictly kayfabe, though.
I ain't trying to be mean or nothing, but he got a point.
You
Like,
a boss, but you can't hold a title. Alexa Bliss is clearing you on the mic and backstage promos, and all you could do is
to
under
be
your
fair,
breath.
she kill a lot of people. So,
But it's not even hard to kill that pint-sized bitch.
I
First of all, you a little ass girl. I will stomp on you like you the gum underneath my shoe. Don't play with me. Second of all, let's not sit up here and act like pretty privilege is not very prevalent within this one right here. Because what is she really doing? I'll wait. Oh, okay. She ain't doing nothing but sitting up here talking her mouth, looking all high and mighty with this fucking hot chair she got in the front of the ring.
we are very, very angry.
See, people have to learn how to. That's what I'm saying. People ain't pushing the envelope. Everybody okay with looking at that paper and reading it and being like, okay, I can make that happen. No, if I'm gonna see that shit, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do exactly what Stone Cold do. Look at it. All right, now go out there and do my own shit. That makes sense for my character. They can't ignore you forever.
I mean, fair.
But as far as one, I would say this: the base of what you said is good. A dancer like Naomi and a boss bitch like Sasha. Dancing is not really a gimmick unless you make it one. Naomi was a dancer, but only time she danced was really in her entrance. It wasn't a thing where she was like, I'm a dancer, and that was the motive. She just happened to dance, know how to dance. So if you can incorporate dancing into it, where you
Like
can
Layla did
be,
in the beginning when she was first there.
yeah,
Because when she was first there, her dancing was a big part of her
extreme
character.
expose, yeah. And then she did the little leg thing and all that, and her moves led to her. Well, her dancing ability led to her moves very often. So you can do that. You can kind of take that and make that kind of like a Jillian kind of thing, where the mix with a Lana kind of thing. Now, if you ask me, Lana was more of a boss bitch than Sasha was, but we're gonna leave that alone. But make that like a Jillian thing to where it's like you're a superstar. You come in like I'm here because I'm a star. I'm an elite dancer. Make up a fake cameo because half the cameos be fake anyway. Make up a fake cameo saying, you did this is down the third. Basically what Nikita be doing. Lying about bullshit. So she says it's not lying. Um, do you listen to rap music? Because that can help you as well. Lana used to walk out on her toes in those pointy shoes and demand exactly. And you hated every second of that bitch.
Yeah.
That's the boss bitch.
When she was with Rusev, yeah, you believed what she was selling. Not gonna lie.
That was the last bit of character work that we see. That's crazy. Jesus, before reality era really set in. Yeah, she used to piss me the fuck off. I'm like, not this lady here. Again. And then he had this long ass run with the US belt and couldn't nobody beat him. I was like,
Nobody
oh
could
my
be.
God. I thought Big Show was gonna do it, but that just goes to show how well of a storyteller they were.
Well, Lana was. Rusev just kind of piggybacked off Lana, if we being honest.
Well, he played dead well, but we see where how far his piggyback took him. My entrance going to have rock music. My entrance gonna have 808s. No, I'm gonna lie to y'all. I want to break the motherfucking sound barrier with the booming system. I hear what you're saying. Things not helping a lot. No problem. I'm a creative. It's what I do.
Oh my god.
I love to help. I can't wait to get there and all these boring ass PC folks be asking me, what should I do next?
You know what? You
Go
are
watch
hot as
TV. That's what you do that. Don't watch, like Jocelyn said, don't watch me, ho. Watch TV. Oh, wait.
bitch say, you try me,
I'm
you try
on
me,
there
you try me,
too.
you try me, 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 I'm gonna fuck y'all hoes up.
That's what I'm going to do when I'm looking for a group.
She's fucking stupid.
That's what Lacey needs to be doing in her boot camp.
Yep.
You try me, 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 you try me. I'm going to fuck y'all hoes up. Yes, I love rap music. Okay, so when you listening to rap music, listen to the lyrics. When you hear a lot of lyrics, and like say you hear a cold ass bar, that can help you with promos. Like I listen to music a lot, and when I hear some sick shit, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna use that. Like the other day, I listened to a Drake song. He said it was something along the lines of, "I kept sending for you like an emergency call, but you was acting like I ain't like you ain't get it. But then I popped up on you, and it was a different type of energy. So what's up? You have to pull from media if you know how to, if you smart, because everybody don't know everything.
Who is Gorilla? You mean Glorilla? I know.
Autocorrect like Nikki, Cardi, Glorilla, and yeah. I can't wait to get there. I'm gonna be doing ugly cry. Oh, I'm a ugly. I'll probably cry for a couple days, and then I'm like, all right, let's get to it. Um,
Now let's get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't cry forever. I mean, I'm gonna have to put in the work at some point. I'm gonna cry like, oh my God, y'all, I've been wanting this forever. Now, remember, yo, while WWE is the pinnacle of wrestling, it is a great job to have. There are other avenues to go. It's not the end all be all. People do make livings in other promotions and wrestling around the world in general.
I mean, I think that's the best way to get yourself out there and to learn how to wrestle for sure. Because just worrying about WWE, like you could be like AJ Styles and let that be the end of your career, not let it be the beginning.
Hmm.
Which AJ Styles got an easy road right now. He pretty much wrestle whoever he want. Um, he get paid a lot of money, and he got that check going in. He didn't have to wait to earn it.
Yep.
So sometimes it's not always the destination, but the route to get there.
And the bigger you are, the more work you do on the independent scene, the more money you can claim going into it. Say you work about good 6 years on the independence. You can come in on NXT and they base on NXT is 500K. You could probably come in a little bit more than that because your resume is extensive, because you put in more work. Like I said, WWE is good to have and all, but you do have to know how to maneuver through the industry and not just the business. Now, I will say it appears to be if you are entertaining, you're pretty much on board. So if you're boring, I advise you to find some character like tonight, like yesterday, like before you was born. You have to. A lot of people don't speak about it like a lot, but you have to kind of accumulate this character. Wrestlers have always been larger than life. If you boring, you're not gonna garner attention for real. Wrestling can only take you so far. That's why the only Daniel Bryan is cool. He cultivated a character within WWE, but he did not take that with him. All he can say now is, "I'm a better wrestler than you."
Well, technically, where he is, he don't have to do what he had to do in WWE, which I think Daniel
Fair
Bryan
point.
prefers that.
Fair point. But
What
to
happened?
stay afloat, you need them characters, y'all.
Yeah, when you in the E, you do, but in AEW, they just want you to wrestle real good.
And that's why my ass can't be over there for real because I'll be like, this is a fucking shit show. I'm up here fighting for people who don't know what the fuck they doing, all they could, and they barely wrestling. That's the crazy part. Everybody want to be a top wrestler, but y'all barely wrestling out this bitch. I know I'm probably gonna have some problems at the PC within the locker room. But I definitely have a problem at AEW. I'll probably fuck around and get kicked out. They were don't sign him because he got an issue with everybody. You're damn right. You motherfucking goddamn right. Cause this shit is ridiculous. I'm fighting for TV time and you can't even tie your shoes up correctly. But if you're boring and you can wrestle well, go ahead and go to AEW. If you're semi-born with a little bit of character and can wrestle well, MLW. They work on MLW, and they get
It,
you where you need to be character-wise, as well as Impact.
well, hopefully Don will be available tomorrow. He can finish telling y'all what y'all gotta do to be good wrestlers.
I shall be if I don't pass out before then. I got a
Because
lot of work to do tomorrow too.
I'm getting ready to hit. But hey, because I have to get up. Because I have to work tomorrow. So, podcast is up. Like I said last week, we talked about Endeavor deal. We talked about WrestleMania 39, and we talked about Vicky Guerrero and her daughter and all the shit that's going down with them. So please, please, please go listen to those two podcasts. They are up. If you want some regular old messy gossipy content, go on over to the KTT. I'm gonna be putting up a new episode. I'll get with Donnie and then we'll do another episode for music because I haven't done one in a while. I have a Am I the Asshole episode coming up, and I still have to finish out the parts for the SWV and escape bullshit. I finally got that stuff finished, and the Red Rum stories are heavy this week because we've had another mass shooting happen in Kentucky today, and 4 people were killed.
That was the bank, right?
Yeah, yeah, at the
They said
bank.
it was 5.
It was 5 that died.
Hmm.
The man, it must have been him. That did he kill himself?
I don't know, but I did read it. The last thing I read is there was 5 people.
The man got fired and decided to go in there and kill everybody, including the executive, one of the executives that I think fired him. So we got to talk about that. Plus, there's some other weird Red Rum stories that I really want y'all to listen to on the show. And I got a couple other things that we got to talk about. That daycare lady that was messing with them kids, that messed them kids up. The Dalai Lama asking that little boy to suck his tongue on TV.
Child, that was crazy.
Okay, I got a lot of stuff that I gotta get through. Plus, I still gotta work, get this website up, and I gotta get my pound cake and stuff situated. So I got a lot of work I gotta do and a little bit of time. But I promise y'all I'll be back tomorrow to talk about NXT. But if you don't mind, just do your girl a big favor. Please go to the podcast and listen to the podcasts that are up. Please share them. Please rate them when you go. Y'all can comment underneath those podcasts so I can know what I can change to make the past podcast a little bit more palatable for y'all. I need y'all to engage on that podcast, especially this one, because on the Down for the Count one, y'all are very vocal, but on this one, this is my personal one. I get some views, I get some listeners every now and then, but I really need y'all to share it as much as possible, comment on it as much as possible. Let me know what you think, if I need to change anything, any suggestions for shows or anything like that. I will take that into consideration and probably do it so I can keep getting viewers to listen to the show. With all that being said, make sure y'all follow the podcast. It is on Spotify right now. For right now, it's just on Spotify, but I'm sure within a couple months' time that will change. All right. Y'all make sure y'all go on over to Down for the Count. It's also on Spotify, but it is available on Google and Apple Podcasts as well. That podcast has been out for quite some time, so it has a little bit more reach and range. So go on over there and check that out. Now, AT2 has a bunch of stuff over there on his page. And if you are really into the escape situation with Latasha and her sister, he just had their damn daddy over there.
Ooh, let me go watch.
Yes, he just had their daddy over there on his channel, up just chatting up a storm about how Latasha is mad at him and telling everybody his business, but she wasn't mad when he was giving her money when she needed it. Just woo.
Oh no, she's taking more money. God damn, girl,
Okay, it was
Jesus.
real messy. It's real messy over there, but AT2 talked to her damn daddy. Okay? I ain't going that far. I don't have the time nor the patience to be doing all of that. I don't need to talk to you. I just need to tell you how I feel about it in my podcast and move the fuck on. Okay? But he decides to have people as guests over there. So if you want to get really messy in the tea, first listen to my podcast. Do me that fucking solid. And then go Go over there to AT2 so you can get all the mess because he be having Jaguar right over there going off and
Tokyo
um
Tony.
Tokyo Tony got in his ass because she didn't want him using her name on his platform. Just all kind of shit be over there with AT2. He got them old ass 32-year-olds and 50-year-olds over there just cackling like some old hens and call it's a mess over there. I'm telling y'all got to go over there, subscribe to his channel because when he go live, the girls be in there girling. Okay. It is not a game. They be fangirling out and they be over there getting in. Okay. You got to go over there and listen to that. Because I don't know how he was able to get that lady daddy over there. But he had her daddy on that damn show. And I was like, "Ooh, you doing too much for me. That is too much."
He is getting to the bag. He been
Mm-hmm.
dedicated though, so I'll say that.
I'm not that damn dedicated shit. YouTube damn near took his damn channel down. Didn't even want to pay him. Shoot.
Okay.
But if that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna knock your hustle. Just make sure when you go up, you make sure you take the rest of us with.
Okay. Don't forget where you started from, Negro.
Yes, take me with you. I'm ready to go too. But anyways, James said good night, y'all. Thanks again, Don. I'll probably have more tomorrow. He gonna have more questions tomorrow.
No problem. I'm here.
Hopefully Don will come in tomorrow. I'll let him come in again and talk to y'all. But I had to go to the bathroom, so I was just glad he was here. Okay. So
Yeah,
I will
we ain't
see
had to
y'all
sit through another
tomorrow.
concert.
Listen, it was either that or you get the break. Shit, I had to pee. I take water pills. I had to go to the bathroom. Now, I'm serious. Now, tomorrow, we're going to talk about NXT. They're going to have the girls fighting again. They got a lot of girls segments tomorrow. And, of course, they got this Fatal 4-Way tomorrow for NXT. So, I hope y'all enjoy NXT. I may or may not watch NXT. I don't know. Depending on how I feel. I'll be back here tomorrow and we'll go over it. If I don't, Kenny will have her notes and I'll get the notes from her. So, I will see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully, Donnie will be back and he'll come in here and answer y'all questions tomorrow again. Other than that, peace. Gotta go.
Bye.